Okay, so this one is a bit different. I've played a game recently which is called Don't Escape 4, of Don't Escape 4 Days in the Wasteland. So this is a series which is near and dear to me because of its history. I'll go into it a bit more later, but for the time being I recommend it. This is a solid point and click with some different scenarios and choices. It also lacks the usual moon logic which a lot of point and clicks are known for. It's very clear and straightforward. Still, if you aren't a fan of point and clicks, I suppose it's not gonna change your mind. But if you do try it, there's a great hopeless horror throughout this whole thing, which I rarely experience with other games. So what is it about? A man is stuck in a wasteland. The entire world seems to be ending, and as it turns out, even the moon is going down to destroy whoever survived thus far. There is only one hope. Go to space and hope there's a way out there. So the story has reminded me a little bit of Zero Escape. Honestly, I would be surprised if the dev isn't familiar with it. By the way, I also recommend Zero Escape. I freaking love Zero Escape. Anyway, so this dev has made a bunch of games like this, Flash games. Originally I assumed he just wanted to play with expectations. There were plenty of point and clicks and where the point was to escape. He did exactly the opposite. You are trying to survive, you are trying to keep others from getting hurt. That sort of thing. And he absolutely nails this despair-fueled atmosphere. Really, I feel like only someone from Eastern Europe could do this kind of thing so well. Something about this particular geography what makes people just so dreadfully sad. So it's a bit nostalgic to me too. I spent many a night playing a whole lot of Flash games and some like Sony moved to Steam. Sadly, officially that era is over now, but it was a big part of my life growing up, so I will always defend games like this to the death. What did I like? Well, like I said, it's a horror survival game. Now, the way it does horror isn't jump scares. It's not, oh look, a big scary monster is coming, you better watch out. Instead, it's a lot more subtle and hopeless. I really feel like that's the best word to describe the feel. The world is ending. You can try to struggle. Every single night something is coming to kill you. And you have to fight tooth and nail to stay alive. All to get yet another worse thing happen. In only 4 days you get to experience catastrophes which could have wiped out mankind as is. Yet here you stand, to have Earth itself shattered and destroyed by the moon. Oh yeah, and you also get to meet some characters. At first it seems like it's gonna be a solo adventure, but you quickly meet one. And at another, and at another. And of course all of them have their stories. I feel like a cast this small in a game which is such a tiny blip on people's radar. I feel like it had no need to put this much effort into the story or the characters. But they do. It's simple, sure, but there is a lot of love and care put into everything here. The cold bitch warms up, the kid stops trying to pretend to be tough, the older fella who lost everything tries his best to move on and put his best foot forward. There's even a villain who gets a touching story. I don't think there was any reason to try so hard to write this. Yet Script Welder did, and I love him for it. I have also said that point-and-click logic is more normal than usual, and I don't think I should elaborate on that too much. If you have some issue, like a swarm of bugs coming, it makes sense to cover the windows in nets. If you have a heat wave, it makes sense to get every single way to cool yourself down and get in water bottles for hydration. You won't need to bring apples to judges and battle like a straw millionaire. It's very clear, if somewhat confusing what you're actually capable of doing. In case you struggle, there is an easy to find walkthrough. Neo Seeker offers a great one. What did I dislike? So again, it's basically a Flash game, so it looks bad. There's no way to put it. There's a kind of look which nobody's going to like. I warmed up to it and there's a certain degree of horror when everything looks so rough. You can't be certain what you're looking at and which adds to it. So I like it, but I'm not gonna claim that it's pleasant to look at. Also a time limit, a unique mechanic for the point and clicks. Someone might have done this before, but I can't remember any, and here it's a crucial part of the game which is technically the difficulty. You only have X number of hours. You can only do so much in a day, and if you are like me and love to pick up everything, well, prepare for multiple trips and hope for the best. It can definitely grind some gears. But the thing is, it used to be a lot worse. This particular game has a rather generous time limit, unlike earlier games by this dev. You had to follow a very strict order, or you just can't max out and get a good ending. So I didn't hate it either. And the last thing is, it's short. Now, a game like this is supposed to be short. Having it be long honestly can be draining. This atmosphere is not pleasant. This look is not pleasant. This game is not pleasant. Nothing here makes me feel good. It makes me sad. But in a good way. Like a bittersweet ending to a movie. No, not exactly, but the point is that the length seems fine to me. And you also get different events, so you can play multiple times. The first night alone has 3 variations of events and ways to prepare. So you are expected to replay it. Still, it can be a little steep for a game like this. I would definitely say it's worth it though, but I am biased. So I think that's all there is to say. Play it, replay it, check the walkthrough. I enjoyed it a lot, but I definitely needed breaks. It's too much for me to do in one sitting. Okay, so just rambling now. So this is spoiler talk. So just tune out if you're caring about that stuff. The game ends with you going to sleep and waking up in another world, i.e. the different scenarios aren't random. They are just from another world, where things still went horribly wrong, but differently. What I want to praise is the idea that there is some sort of net out there, connecting all the minds in the world of the universe. And the company which caused all of this only has a select few who get to move on. I suppose it sounds like a cult recruitment tactic, doesn't it? But it's not like it's a new concept. Same as Zero Escape, the characters get to move to different timelines and dimensions. They get to experience different choices and events, and sometimes, just sometimes, Alice decides to be a bitch, regardless of your choice. A damn gorgeous bitch. Anyway, I love this idea because there's some scientific back into this. Quantum mechanics is basically making shit up as people go. Schrodinger's cat, for example. An object differs depending on if it's observed or not. What the fuck does that mean, and why is it a thing? I find this stuff so fun to hear about, because there are things what we don't understand. There are things which defy logic, and this kind of thing, I can't believe that in the future there is some sort of technology which can transport out consciousness into another vessel. Into someone else in another world, in another version of Earth. Maybe one where I'm not a hopeless loser. Either way, it's a fun theory to think about.